welcome to the productivity.
Yeah, my friend Ian and I.
Right.
It is a challenge, and I think there's different answers for different people.
Hi there.
But the demons, they whisper to you.
I just couldn't believe it. I was overwhelmed by it.
The fact that you know less about the story makes you useful as an interviewer. We're recording the phone call, and you're okay with it being used in the documentary?
Absolutely.
Bigfoot to I've seen spirits or ghosts, I don't know what you would call them, and I've seen a UFO, and I've seen some other things I can't even explain.
Oh my gosh! Okay,
I'm gonna get myself another cup of coffee. Excuse me.
We weren't dating at all. We were just friends, but I felt that they were going to hurt him.
I space out like a lot. Good afternoon, team. Thank you for logging into this mandatory hybrid session on romance across generations, bridging the age gap for corporate success. HR has reminded me that while love knows no bounds, our intergenerational fraternization guidelines still require a signed and dated age differential impact assessment and proof that you've watched the 45-minute competency certification on navigating workplace romance. Let's face it, team. In today's multi-generational workplace, romance isn't just coffee dates anymore. It's a cross-functional merger between someone who thinks skibbity riz is a viable sales technique and someone who still prints out emails just in case the cloud dries up. Picture this. Chad from marketing, Gen Z, pronouns in emails, lives for quiet quitting, versus Linda from compliance, baby boomer, has a pension, calls Slack the interwebs. Sparks fly during budget review when he says, attach this to the email, and she actually brings a stapler. Next thing you know, they're collabing in after-hours sessions where he's teaching her TikTok dances and she's teaching him what having a 401k actually feels like. The metrics are wild. Our internal data on intergenerational romance shows Gen Z and millennial romances peak at 8 weeks. Then they crash out when one side wants to manifest good vibes in the relationship and the other wants to mog other work couples with productivity maxing. Millennial plus Gen X, that's a solid 6 out of 10. They bond over shared student debt and mutual hatred of open office plans. But the real disruptor? The intergenerational power couple, the ambitious 28-year-old rising star, and the 62-year-old department legend 2 years from retirement. Productivity soars until the younger one realizes their soulmate keeps falling asleep during Netflix and refers to every search engine as the Google machine. But intergenerational romance isn't all bad. Boomers can explain how back in my day, a house cost $25 and a job could be acquired through a handshake. Gen X can share how their middle school playground actually resembled more of a boot camp training field. Millennials can teach how to translate from emoji speak back into English. And Gen Z can show us just what that Snapchat thing is for exactly. In closing, dear colleagues, whether you're swiping right on someone who remembers the Berlin Wall or slow dancing with the unpaid intern who thinks the Berlin Wall is a band, romance in this office is the ultimate vertical transformation, full of sprints, retrospectives, and the occasional, I can't believe I'm explaining what a fax machine is on the third date. So go forth, optimize those intergenerational contacts, maximize the cross-generational moments, And when the retirement clock hits, may your love story be as enduring as a government pension, but twice as spicy. Any questions? No? Perfect. Back to your desks, and remember, if you hear wedding bells at a retirement party, just smile and CC legal. Thank you, and you are now free to resume your regularly scheduled existential crisis.
You're live. Welcome to the Productivity Zone. At today's meeting, we will be discussing a very important topic, and that is, of course, sex after 60. For far too long, we've bought into the myth that intimacy has an expiration date. For people in their 20s, it's believed to be the ripe old age of 30. But for most, it's probably closer to retirement. That once the kids are grown, the hair turns gray, the body slows down, and desire just fades away. But in truth, it's far more exciting. Today, here to discuss the topic of getting under the covers when you're over the hill is my friend, Joyce. Joyce,
Hi,
how are you doing?
I'm doing great,
Awesome.
but certainly not over the hill.
Certainly not over the hill.
No,
Okay.
not even close to the hill.
All right. Pushing up that hill, but it's not over the hill. I gotcha. So, I gotta ask you, what was your light bulb moment?
My light bulb moment happened on a world cruise where I spent 4 months sailing around the globe. And during that 4 months, I had a number of men that approached me, and it became apparent that they were attracted to me. I thought it was over when I got on that ship, but I realized it was just beginning. It was a captive audience, mostly I would call age-appropriate men. I mean, after all, if you're on a world cruise, you can't really do that if you have a full-time job and you're working. Right. So it was mostly retired men, but I had multiple invitations for dining and dancing and drinking, and I scratched my head wondering, how could this be happening? I thought it was over the hill, but I found out that I really wasn't. And that's when I became aware that I was still attractive, vibrant, and it just flipped a switch on for me, and let's just call it a light bulb.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it was a light bulb moment for you, but let's backtrack from there.
Okay.
What was it that made you want to go on the world cruise? So what was it kind of leading up to the cruise?
The world cruise was a bucket list event for me. That I had talked about it for many years, and because I knew that I would never do that by flying, cruising was the alternative, and I wanted to see what the world looked like by the sea. And the oceans are all different. They're very different. They're very different looks. So it was a bucket list dream, and time and circumstances just opened up, and I booked a ticket. I booked a ticket in a balcony room, solo event.
Oh, right. So where did it all take you? Like, where did the cruise leave from, and where did you get to?
The cruise started in Fort Lauderdale, and sailed down to Colombia, through the Panama Canal, up the west coast of Central America, Costa Rica, Mexico, Guatemala, and to LA. where we picked up a whole boatload of new people. I was on a cruise ship with approximately 1,800 people. 1,800 people. So from LA, we went to Hawaii, from several islands in Hawaii. From Hawaii, went to Fiji, from Fiji to New Zealand, New Zealand to Australia, and Australia to a little island called Mauritius, which is off the west coast of Africa. And that particular ship that I was on ported in Cape Town, South Africa, where I got off and spent 16 days solo. During that 16 days, I traveled to Kruger National Park. I safaried for 5 days with the big game, the big five, lions, tigers, no bears. Okay. But elephants and giraffe. And I spent 5 days at the Kruger National Park. And I also spent 5 days traveling the Garden Route, which is a very beautiful roadway down the southern tip of Africa. Went to some small port towns, Port Elizabeth, Moselle Bay. Cape Town was spectacular. I found South Africa to be one of the most beautiful places I've ever visited. It had it all: landscape, animals, people, food, and everybody was very friendly. So
yeah, I was wondering why so much like that cruises appeal to, the older crowd so much. And I guess you kind of already said it. It's because you have to have all your time free to
no,
do it. You think so?
Absolutely. For a world cruise,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, unless you're remotely working, I did meet several younger people while cruising that were remotely working from the cruise, but mostly it was retirees, mostly couples. However, there was quite a few single people. I was really surprised by that. And the cruise ship, the first cruise line I went on was Princess, and they had was a little bit younger than the second cruise line, which was Holland America. But the Princess cruise line had a singles meet and greet, that they sponsored on their itinerary every night. So there were quite a few single people on that cruise, and while I was there, I met 2 very attractive single men that I still have contact with. On the second ship, I met another very attractive single man that I still have contact with.
Okay, and so were these guys maybe like quite a bit younger than you, like 50s or 60s?
60s.
Okay.
All in their 60s, actually. Almost. I think all 3 of them are 65.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, that's very coincidental.
That makes me a cougar.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
because I'm
on my
old.
little list of questions I wanted to ask you about. So tell me more about what does that term really mean to you?
Well, I'm not exactly sure. Cougar is something I think you can identify with.
Oh, yeah.
Older women, younger man. Now, I don't know at 72 how much of a cougar I am dating a 65-year-old guy, but historically, men have been dating younger women for a long time, and Cher dates somebody that's like 35 years younger than her, and Madonna's dating somebody that's much younger than her. So why can't women date guys that are younger?
I don't see why not.
You'd be amazed at how many young guys find me to be very attractive. I'm amazed.
Yes.
I mean, I'm
very impressed.
I'm amazed by it.
So, do you think there's something like where does that term even come from, cougar? Like, is it like, are they on the hunt? Are they like stalking their prey, or where does that even come from?
Yeah, I wish I could tell you the answer. I don't find it to be a very flattering term.
Yeah.
Okay. I just rather say that I'm a seasoned, mature woman.
Yeah.
You know, okay, that that crosses boundaries.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
there's another term that people think of when they think of these older women, and it's MILF. Can you say anything about the term? Like, where does that kind of come in?
I think that came from a movie.
Because to me, MILF means man I love fishing, or man I love Florida.
A mother I'd love to fuck.
Mother I'd like to or love to.
Yeah,
Fuck.
that's
Okay.
and
Gotcha.
I'm sure the first time I heard that expression, it was in a movie.
Yeah.
Okay, and I wish I could tell you which one. If we ask Grok right now, I bet we could find out.
I'm sure, like, I feel like it was probably, one of those early or late 90s, early 2000s kind of comedies, like American Pie or something like that. I'm not sure exactly.
I think that you're probably right about that.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, spell this out for me. When you're on a cruise and you're meeting these younger guys, do you have to have discretion? I mean, you're stuck on the boat with these people, right? So how do you kind of gauge, what the outcome is going to be? Because you really don't want to have an awkward situation when you're on this boat with the people that you're kind of flirting with, right? So
No. Yeah, you know that, and that's a great question.
Yeah.
Because several of the men that I met on the cruise, one of them was on the full 4-month world cruise.
Yeah.
Nice looking. Had it going on. The women loved him. And when I asked him, why, or he said, I'm very popular, but I'm on this boat for 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have sex with any of these women because it could be an awkward situation.
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't work, then I'm stuck on a boat for 4 months with somebody, and it may have affected the cruise. And in fact, that did happen in some awkward situations. I know a man that hooked up with a woman, and, he hooked up with her, and she just could not unhook. It was very awkward for him.
Yeah.
So I felt, for myself, like, well, first of all, there was no way I was going to take my clothes off and have sex with a man on this cruise, because I wasn't planning on having sex again. When I took this cruise, I thought it was over for me. Really? I was in retirement mode.
Yeah.
And not feeling really great about me. I felt great about being on the cruise. Don't get me wrong, it was something I wanted to do, but I knew that my better self was more fit, more thin, more attractive, had more game.
Yeah.
And that wasn't what the cruise was about for me. But I didn't realize when I got on the cruise that I was going to be so attractive to so many of the male guests. I thought it was over for them too, but that's not the case. So it was that awareness of having people interested in me that made me realize that it wasn't over. So after the cruise, I cleaned up some of these loose ends.
Okay.
But while I was on the cruise, there was just no way I was going to take my clothes off in in front of some man when I know that I was at least 15 pounds overweight. Okay.
Yeah.
And the first rule is, if you want to have good sex, you got to feel good about yourself.
Absolutely.
You have to feel good about yourself. You got to know that you look good dancing around naked. There's a whole laundry list of things that go on there, but none of that I was prepared for, because I wasn't thinking that. I was thinking, I'm going to travel. I'm going to sit in my deck chair on my balcony, read some books, meet a few people. I knew I would meet people. I'm very cordial. But never in a million years did I imagine that I would have opportunities to date.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the other thing So one of the men, he's on for 4 months. He's not having sex. I'm on for long term, and I know I'm not having sex, but not for the same reason. But then I met another man who was on for short term, and all he wanted to do was have sex.
Okay.
So everybody's different.
Yeah.
Everybody's different, and he's still having sex. Okay, but everybody, with he's sexually active. So it's just different for everybody. But for me, it was an awareness. I became aware that I was still attractive, and then I knew that if I put a little bit of time in, that maybe this would be an area that I would want to explore again.
Right. Can you just kind of describe what that's like? Maybe like give a little bit more background about yourself. Like why did you, before you had the light bulb moment, what made you kind of go into the retirement thinking that you were kind of done? Like what kind of brought your confidence down, other than that you felt like you were overweight kind of thing, or what kind of brought you into that headspace?
I think it's just a natural. It's a natural part of aging.
Yeah.
I believe it's a natural part of aging that we become complacent with aging. Aging is a battle. And if you want to fight the battle, it requires work. And the older you are, the more work it requires. Better diet, better skin care, more exercise, less food. So aging, as you age, if you want to stay young and vibrant, it's work. So, and a lot of my friends, including myself, it's like, oh man, we don't want to do that anymore, And why don't we want to do it? It's work, and we already have work. There's already other stuff going on. Yeah. So, it's a natural part of aging. And look at how the body changes from when you're 31. Of course, I'm 72 and I don't look bad.
You look amazing.
I do look amazing at 72.
Congratulations.
But thank you very much. But how many 72-year-old women do you know? Okay, and how many do you know that look like me?
Not many. Not many.
And why is that? Because it's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard work.
Okay.
You have to be disciplined.
Yeah.
You have to be disciplined. And if you want to date, let's be honest, that how you look matters. Because if body language is 95% of the first contact is all about the body language. It's how you look, how you speak, how you carry yourself. So if you're 200 pounds and 5'3", you are not going to look good in spandex. Okay? It's not going to happen. Okay? You're not going to look good. I don't care what kind of lingerie you put on. And if people say that they like that, maybe some do. Okay? None of the men I've ever been with, like chubby women. Of course, I've been fit most of my life. Mm-hmm. So I've been around primarily fit, attractive men. Mm-hmm. But being attractive is hard work. And dating at my age is even harder because a lot of people are dead, okay? And a lot of people are married. And then I'm finding that a lot of men that are in my age group that are single, they feel the same way. They have freedom, they have a house, they have a life, they don't have any baggage. And having a relationship is work. It's work, but I'm not necessarily talking about a relationship. I'm talking about having a good time.
Yeah, there's kind of this insurgence now, like what you say about, how much appearance matters. There's kind of this insurgence of black pillars or doomers. And these are young people who think that your looks are an absolute determinism to your place in society and stuff. It's kind of a dark viewpoint. It's kind of a sad viewpoint to see that, but there's some truth in that. You know, there's some truth in that people really judge a lot based on appearance. You know, I can see why you would say that. But I'm going to give a quick shout out here to those in the Rumble chat. We have Pudding, Brother Urchin, Broski, Jimby. They're all here. And also I want to shout out to Frownland, the PA friends, and the Ossuary, and anybody else who may have joined from Discord. We are going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. All right. Well, we are here. We are back. And we're talking to Joyce, my friend, who is our expert in the topic of sex over 60. So, Joyce, sex after 60s island. What's your inspiration for this idea? Like, how would you describe that?
That's my idea for a TV show.
A TV show.
Sex After 60s Island.
Okay.
Okay. And everybody has seen Love Island, Too Hot to Handle, The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, Love is Blind. There are so many reality shows focused right now on love. Or let's just say love. Love Island's one of my favorites. But the theme of all these shows talk about leaving the show with a partner, that you find love on Love Island. And they're all so young and they're hot and their hormones and their pheromones are off the charts. They just want to have sex. They don't understand what love is really about. Love is more than sex. Sex is what you do when you're young and your pheromones are off the chart. Right. Intimacy is about love. Intimacy, love. Sex it should be called Sex Island, not Love Island. I would be shocked if any of those couples actually survive.
Yeah.
But I thought, after and in my age group, they came up with these shows called The Golden Bachelor, The Golden Bachelorette. Yeah. They're really corny shows. You bring all these old people into a group, and some lady that's attractive for being old, or this man that's attractive for being old, and they're set. They have their own house and bank account and life, and a lot of us do, some more so than others, but at this point in life, we're generally set and have some assets. Let's hope we do anyway, not everybody. But they bring all these people together and they have this 6 or 8 week training to fall in love. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, you walk off and you're supposed to, ride off on your horses, get married, whatever. I think it's all wrong. I think it should be Sex After 60s Island, where they put a bunch of very attractive older people on an island with some really horny younger people and just have fun. Just have fun. Just, like a great one-night stand, or, why do you have to put so much focus on the future? I like to go one day at a time. Now, I'm not saying future doesn't matter. It does. I mean, future matters if you're buying a house together, or you're planning to have children. But if you're planning to do that after 60, something is wrong with you. That's usually a man, with a much younger woman. And you shouldn't be having children at that age. You should be living. So I say, bring all these mature, seasoned people that are very hot and attractive, that want to have sex, put them together and have fun. No commitment, no strings, just fun. And if something else happens, that's okay. But I will tell you, I'm not a firm believer in, like the Cher and her boyfriend. I think he's probably with her for other reasons than the pureness of having a one-night stand with an older woman. It's her celebrity, who she is. There's other things attached there. But on Sex After 60 Island, there's nothing. Right. You walk away and you just had a good time. No phone numbers, no call me, let's go out on another date. Now, could it happen? Yes, it could happen. But why not just embrace the moment?
Yeah. So
Sex After 60 Island.
You're getting some questions here. I have to read this out. Ian is shifting in his chair, looking shy as a turtle in the exposition. I think our picturesque hero needs a little social lubricant. And turn the chair 90 degrees and give the lady more eye contact.
Okay. And I'll tell your guest, Ian, I think, is a little bit too young for me. Okay. I think I have a daughter that's older than him, and I might feel a little bit sinful at that, but I don't think there's anything wrong with people with different ages having sex, as long as it's consensual. As long as it's consensual.
So what do you think it is that
attracts younger men to me?
Yeah, or no, I mean, sure, if you want to take it that way, but what attracts a younger man to an older woman? Like, what's the appeal? Experience. Yeah.
Yeah, seasoned. Yeah, I think they just want to know. I think it's experience.
Oh, yeah.
What attracts an older woman to a younger man? Appearance, confidence, huge.
Yeah.
Huge. If you don't have confidence, in fact, in anything, if you don't have confidence, you lose. In fact, you could be maybe an unattractive person, a little bit, but unattractive. You could have some things working against you, but with a good confidence, you can pull it off. So confidence is very important. Humor is another thing. If you're
That's like a trope, but like the fat kid who gets the girl just because he's funny.
That's exactly correct.
It's like a kind of an archetype.
And he's confident.
Yeah.
And he's confident. He's not afraid to talk to people.
Yeah.
So you can go, I can talk to anybody.
Yeah, and you got another comment that said she is awesome and right. So I guess you're correct on that.
Does that person want to date?
Well, I think that this person might be even younger than me. So I don't know if you
that might be like I said, my daughter might take offense to it.
Yes, there's going to be a lot of people listening to this who are even younger than me, really, for the most part. So is there any advice that you can give to young men who are worried about, trying to settle down, or rather to have more fun at the expense of losing their potential life partner?
I would say be true to yourself. Be honest. Do not dance around the person you're with just because you want to be with them. Be who you are, and be honest. And if you don't have confidence, find out how to get some confidence. And I don't really know how to tell you, except it's kind of like, if you want to be a good musician, you have to practice. And if you want to be good with people, you have to practice. So you have to put yourself out there. Yeah. And I particularly, I can be very self-deprecating. You know, I love to take, and my very best friends take shots at me. I take shots at me. I find that adds a lot of humor in the mix. Humor, confidence, poise. Poise is important.
What does that mean?
I mean, if you look like a slob, you will attract a slob. Okay, and I know. Yeah, and let me tell you something too. With all the younger people that might be listening, all those tattoos that you put all over your body, not good. Just not good. I mean, I do see some guys at the gym with some tattoos that I occasionally catch my eye, but overall, I think that all that stuff that people are painting all over themselves doesn't really lend to beauty, that it takes away from beauty. Good grooming is important. Like Ian has a very nice hairstyle.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, I think he probably works at that too. Okay, I don't know if that comes naturally or you actually take the time, but grooming is very important. You want to be well groomed, and I mean everywhere. You know, all over.
Yeah.
100% good grooming.
Head to toe.
Head to toe. Okay. Grooming is important. Confidence, humor, appearance. And, you know, you should always be ready for the unexpected.
Yeah.
That means you never know when lightning's going to strike. So, you know, you be ready to go in the moment if the moment happens to appear. Because those spontaneous moments, I call them organic, you know, where they just happen. Like our relationship is really organic. I met you at a party. We struck up a conversation. You came to my house for dinner. I came to your studio and brought a bottle of wine, and we're becoming.
Oh, you brought a bottle of wine?
I did. I brought a bottle of wine.
Really?
I'm going to have another glass of it, actually,
Right,
if you don't mind.
Yeah. Do you mind if you pour me a little bit?
Oh, not at all.
Just don't tell my boss, okay?
Yeah, no, listen, because a seasoned person like myself,
Thank you.
we understand the value of wining, dining.
Right.
You asked, why would a younger man be attracted to me?
Yeah.
Did I not serve you a beautiful dinner when you came over to my house?
It was fun. It was fantastic.
Was it flawless and effortless?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you enjoy every moment of it?
I really did. Yeah.
Okay. And how many girls do that for you that you go out with?
You know, it's probably been 2 or 3 out of many, very many. You know,
Were they young girls or old girls?
mostly girls my same age, but yeah, mostly girls my same age. But I really, the amount like that is so shockingly lacking from my generation and younger, is that kind of you know, traditional providing. It's a lot to do with girls who are expecting a lot. They expect the princess treatment. They expect a lot of efforts, but not a lot of commitment. There's a lot of that going around, especially millennials.
That they expect commitments from without delivering? Is that what you're saying?
They don't expect a lot of commitment, but they expect a lot of effort in, you know, the guy taking them out to dinner or whatever. But then they also, they kind of, they're a little bit delusional. So they have, you know, the idea that, you know, they should be feminist and that women will have their own jobs.
Oh,
They're-
God.
Not their own jobs, not that that's bad, but women will have a career and they'll get the man and they'll have everything paid for them. So it's like they kind of can't, they're all over the map. What do you think about that?
I think the word feminist is a dirty word.
Oh.
I think feminists are ruining it. Feminists are the reason men look at porn because it's not attractive. Okay, I believe quite differently than that.
Okay.
I think women are supposed to be feminine, not feminist. This is not to say you cannot have a job, you cannot have a career, but call me old-fashioned.
But you are feminist.
Only one.
I'm not going to call you old-fashioned.
One person is wearing the pants in the relationship, and it is not me. Okay.
Yeah.
I prefer skirts, although I'm in pants tonight.
Yes.
Okay. I
You
think.
dress professional.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
And I
To the
think the
prototype.
man has to feel like he is wearing the pants.
Yeah.
And he is the man. And feminists have taken that. I tried to strip that. I perceive my perception. Feminists try to strip that identity from men. Like I started to hear this term, toxic masculinity.
That's a good one. I'd attribute that to millennials. They came up with that.
Yeah. I don't even know where that comes from. I want my man to be masculine.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Does that mean if you know how to shoot a gun, I'm okay with that? Okay, I like men that fish.
Yeah.
You know, you can even dress up in camas. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I want you to know how to fix stuff. I want you to be able to be a man. Men are strong. Men are fit. Men know how to do things that women don't know how to do. And women know how to do things that men don't know how to do. And I think that's okay. I can do everything. I mean, yeah, but I can't. I've been single my whole life. I'm a homeowner. I'm a mother, and I've had to provide. I've had to work. I've had to work on my house. I'm independent, so I can cross boundaries. But I never want to be the man. I want the man to be the man. Not. I don't think the woman should be the man.
Yeah.
I think the man should be the man, and I think when women take over that role, that the relationship is doomed. Unless, of course, the man is what I call a soy boy.
Oh my goodness, I had that on my list too.
If the man is a soy boy, he's going to end up with one of those women that have a nose ring, or a bunch of tattoos on their legs. And
do you think there could be something to be said about like these men who do everything that women want them to do, but don't get laid anyways? Like that?
Yeah, they're just stupid.
They're just stupid.
They're just stupid. Yeah. No, I mean, here, stick a finger up their nose and lead them around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, and why would a man do that? What would make a man act like that for a woman? Is she beautiful? Is she like, they think they're reaching for the brass ring there?
I mean, it may not even be specifically a woman telling him to do that. It might just be kind of the ethos, like the zeitgeist of this feminist movement, kind of trying to dictate how people should act. You know what I mean? Or maybe like the social pressure of feeling like if you go against the current thing that you're going to kind of be punished or
always go against it.
Yeah.
Always go against it.
Yeah.
It's the one that's different that stands out. It's the I call them pussy men. I'm sorry.
I like soy boys.
Soy boy. I mean, I just look at some of this behavior and I just don't understand it. I don't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
So why are men acting like that? I maybe social construct, social norms, but I would dare to be different. I would dare to be different, and And my motto is, if you want to be happy for the rest of your life, never make a pretty woman your wife. From my personal point of view, get an ugly girl to marry you. She will worship you. Somebody wrote a song about that, but it's very true.
Yeah.
You know, if you find that one that, or him, her, that knows that they are just, you know, the gift. They're so beautiful. They're so smart. They're so self-centered. They're not going to make you happy. You know, find somebody that thinking about you instead of thinking about them. Does that make sense?
Perfect sense.
Okay.
So back to like the
But that doesn't count for one night stand.
yeah.
Okay. We're talking about relationship versus
Commitment.
the perfect date.
Yeah. So when you go back to like, you know, older men, we're talking about the older woman getting with the younger guy.
Okay.
Would you kind of agree, like men, they get to a certain age and they kind of lose their drive, or what? They get lazy. What is that about guys? What do you think that is?
Well, from my personal experience, I think it has to do with age on the men's part.
Yeah.
I don't think the women have the same. I think women doesn't matter for women, but I think the performance matters for men. So a younger man can perform better than an older man, unless he's taking drugs or enhancements.
Mhm.
I mean, I wouldn't know that.
It seems like that's pretty common. I think that's pretty common for guys. I mean, we have Viagra, and now there's like the blue chews or whatever. I don't know anything about that. It's like I just prefer to. I don't have any issues with that because maybe just my age, but you know, I prefer to go through that like naturally. Zinc, take zinc.
Zinc does it?
Zinc is a supplement that's known to not only is it vital for your health and your metabolic processes, but it's known to increase vitality and stuff like that. Do you know any is there anything you've tapped into like that where you've kind of like supplemented or you've enhanced yourself with you know, whether it's a diet or you know, certain foods or whatever that you felt like was essential to remain youthful and vigorous at, you know, the age that you are at?
I would say food matters at any age, at any age, and we don't need as much food as we eat. We really don't, and we should be eating clean diets, clean fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, good food. Diet matters. What you put into your body matters. As far as sexual enhancements, I personally don't need any. Okay, I think, but and I would prefer my partner not use any kind of artificial enhancement either. Only because I'm pretty organic. I like to be in the natural as we can get. I think age does matter. I don't know how many 6-year-old men you've had sex with. I've had sex with
60-year-old men, Joyce.
Okay, I've had sex with a couple 6-year-old men,
Okay.
and they're certainly not like the 50-year-old men.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
mean, do you think like women are intelligent, but they have high expectations, most of them. They seem to, you know, really they expect a lot, or at least in my age group they seem to, as I described. Do you think that men who are older just kind of pick up on that and then just tune it out and just they stop really caring about, you know, pleasing a girl or something like that?
Yes, actually, I do. I think
think that's it?
I think that men that are older recognize what I call drama.
Yeah.
You know, drama. It's when you've lived your life. You've had your family, your marriage, your children, your career. Now you have your life. You have your money in the bank, and you can do anything you want. You can do anything you want. One of the things you probably don't want is drama. Now, I know men that have achieved that place in life that would rather go to Colombia and pay prostitutes to have sex than to date a woman that's filled with expectations and drama. Is that a bad deal? I don't think so. That you get what you want out of life.
Yeah.
You know, they get a perfect one night stand.
Yeah.
You know, it might cost them a little bit of money, and they might have to take a couple precautions. But you're done with it.
Yeah.
You know, you walk away with it, and you've got what you want out of it, and you're willing to pay for it because you don't want the drama. Relationships are hard.
Yeah.
They're very hard, and at my age. Actually, I'm neutral on that subject. It might be easy with the right person, but with a demanding person, it would not work. Because at my age, I'm very set in my practices, my habits, my lifestyle, the things that I want to do, that I don't think I would be willing to sacrifice those things for a relationship. Would I welcome a relationship that I could embrace in that that fell into that parameter? Yeah, it would be nice. And it would be nice, but do I want to work at it and have drama? No.
Understandable. So going back to audience question here, they asked, has she ever heard of these BDSM swinger cruise ships?
Yes.
Okay, that's a resounding yes.
Yes,
let's expand on that.
I have. And if I had somebody to go on one of those swinger cruise ships, you have to go on as a couple.
Yeah.
I'm not a couple. I'm a single.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right.
I would love to go on it just for the experience of going on it. Now, would I just randomly have sex with somebody? No, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
But would I like to get on the ship and see what goes on? You bet you I would.
I mean, that's intriguing. Yeah, I don't really know that much about the subject, but it's definitely like there's a whole kink community of people who they have their specific kinks, and this could go into any category from BDSM to the more depraved to even people who dress up in furry animal costumes, people who wear diapers.
Not me.
Yes,
No,
people who wear
not me.
diapers.
No,
and
you're right. You're
pretend
right.
to be like little babies or something like that. Like they infantilize themselves. To people who love feet. What are your thoughts on that?
I knew somebody that loved feet.
Really?
Yeah, and I had a very good friend. He's deceased now, but he had a serious foot fetish. I couldn't really understand it. And I know people. I know old swingers, like they're in my age group. I know them. They do it. I find it to be fascinating. And I think being on one of those ships would be fascinating just to watch the behavior. And listen, I'm no virgin. You know, if I wanted to do something, as long as it was safe and I felt comfortable doing it, I would engage. You know, but safe, comfortable, and there's other things that go along with that. But yes, I know about those cruises. No, I can't go on one because I don't have somebody to go on there with. Would I do it? You bet I would. Yeah, because I find human behavior is absolutely fascinating. Fascinating.
There's this movie I really like called Beach Party, and it's kind of like it's an older movie. I like, vintage movies. I think it's like a 60s movie.
And that Funicello?
I don't know. Have you? I don't know.
Is it like the back in the Disney age?
I don't know, but it's an older movie, and what I like about it so much is that there's kind of like a group of kids who they have like a social group and they're party animals, but then there's an older like didactic, like professor type character who watches them and like analyzes them from a sociological level. It's pretty good. So yeah, that's a really good one. But yeah, that's human behavior is definitely interesting.
Well, I spent a good part of my career
Thank you.
working in the court system.
Really?
Well, yeah, and while I worked there, I used to observe in the courtroom testimony.
Can you say what your like exact duties were? Were you like a court reporter or
no,
like a
no,
paralegal or something?
well, no. I actually, I worked in the child support court. Okay, specifically.
Okay.
And it's a part of a process of the family court division. And I used to audit hearings and take data from the hearings that I audited. And what are you going to say? What do you mean audit hearings? Age, zip code, race, job, income, any type of data points that I could collect. But I used to watch this particular process, which was very repetitive. So the questions were almost the same, regardless of who the defendant was or who the plaintiff was.
Right.
And observing the behavior and the answers. So after doing that for 10 years, I feel like I'm pretty good at analyzing behavior. I find it fascinating. If you say one thing, you can evoke. You say one thing to somebody, like hello to a perfect stranger.
Yeah.
How are they going to respond to that? I find that to be very interesting. Just like you, I approached you at a party. We struck up a conversation, and here I am sitting today. So you responded in maybe a different manner than somebody that doesn't have any social skills.
Yeah.
So behavior analysis, I perceive myself as expert in that area.
I gotcha.
Okay. And it's my court from sitting in the courtroom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, can you distill your observations over years of interacting with people down to some specific points? Like, how does this advantage you in life? Have you advantaged yourself in life by being able to read people in this way? And is there anything you can kind of pass on to me about how to intuitively read people in this way?
That is really a very interesting question. The answer is there's things that you could know intuitively, like personal appearance. Okay. Well, actually, I'm going to step that back. I was going to say to you, I can't tell if your place would be as spotlessly clean as my place. Okay. But I can tell you, if you look at me, I don't have any tattoos.
Yeah.
Everything is neat, well-groomed, and that transcends into my personal life. Neat, well-groomed, orderly. I guess in my age group, it might be easier to spot than in your age group. But I can tell you something. I can always, if I walk into your home, I can learn a lot about you from walking into your home.
Yeah.
Either you're a pig or you're not. You are orderly, and when I say orderly, if you looked in my cabinets, they're pretty orderly. They're not perfect, okay, because perfection is hard to achieve. I would say that behavior-wise, the more order you have in your life, the more the universe opens up to you. The more The more order you have, the more room you have to bring other things in. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does. Organized chaos. That's the system I like to utilize.
Okay,
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that's kind of what I subscribe to here. Yeah, so what generation are you a part of? What
I'm a baby boomer.
You're a baby boomer.
I'm a boomer.
Okay, so do you relate to that heavily? Like, do you think that
No.
you know, what does it really mean to be a baby boomer? Has your experience differed greatly from the typical experience?
Yes, it has.
Yes, it has.
But I've never been married.
Okay.
I've been single my whole life. So I've dated and had lots of experiences that aren't marriage.
You had long-term relationships, though.
I have had long-term. The longest term relationship is with my daughter. She's 44.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, and I would say the other longest term relationships are with girlfriends.
Yeah.
Okay,
And girlfriends, these are your close friends, not
lover
Yes,
girlfriends,
yes, right.
not lover girlfriends. Although I don't find anything wrong with that. You know, that's your bag. Have
your
at
bag,
it.
go ahead and
I
get
don't
it.
like all those letters. You know,
Yeah, I really like that.
LGBTQMP. That's the other thing too. It's just so unattractive. Okay, it just is. I mean, you can be a lesbian or you can be a homo, but you can't be all those letters. It's just too confusing for somebody like me. And no, I don't. I feel, I know I'm 72 years old. I know I am.
Yeah.
But I still have the mind that I had when I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
I still have that mind. A little bit slower, not as fast. Every now and then I struggle for a word. My vocabulary is pretty expansive. But
you're sharp. You don't have a single thing about you that makes me think like I'm talking to you. Oh, she's old. Like you're really you're on top of it. Like you're doing awesome.
Yeah. So no, I don't feel like I'm 72. I feel, I know my body is 72.
Yeah.
But my mind is like I'm in my 20s. You know, it's a very interesting thing to be my age.
Yeah.
And know this. You'll feel the same way when you're 72 too. You'll think, damn, I'm old, but my mind is still like it was.
Yeah.
You know, unless you get old.
Yeah.
And people get old because they, I don't know what makes people old, but something does.
Yeah. That's a damn shame. I mean, I think they just kind of they lose that drive and they lose touch with reality and they stop moving and they get stuck in the chair and they don't keep moving. I think keeping moving is probably the secret.
It is hard.
Yeah.
It is. When I got off the cruise
Yeah.
and I knew that I wanted to have sex again with a man or a woman. Okay. I mean, just sex again. Okay.
Just
when I
sex
knew
again.
that I wanted to do it again.
Yeah.
Okay. When I got off the cruise, I made a commitment to myself was to get myself to be the best me that I could be.
Yeah.
So I returned to North Carolina at that time because I have I live in Florida part-time. I live in North Carolina mountains part-time. But I returned to North Carolina and I signed up for the rec center and started taking water aerobics.
Okay.
Water aerobics. Started jumping
That sounds
around
like
in the
fun.
pool.
Yeah.
You know, I put on my fat bathing suit at first, and then I put on my slimmer bathing suit, and all of a sudden I was 10 pounds lighter, and my body looked so much better. It looked so much better. I went, damn, I'm not dead. I don't have to be frumpy, okay, at 72 or 71, whatever it was. And I kept working on it. And then I started yoga, which was a step up from the water aerobics. And yoga was very hard at first because when you're not used to exercising, try to hold your body in a plank for a minute. You know, if you're fat, you're not going to be able to do it. I can guarantee you, not at 72.
Yeah.
So I went to yoga, and then I flew to Costa Rica, and I had a facelift.
You had a facelift.
I did. I had a facelift.
So what are the advantages of doing something like that in Costa Rica?
$20,000 advantage.
$20,000, like $20,000 cheaper.
Cheaper.
Oh wow.
Cheaper. Yeah, I met somebody on the cruise. One of the gentlemen that I met on the cruise had a facelift in Colombia. He shared that with me. He looked great. Of course, I look better than him. He's only 65.
Yeah.
But he told me about his facelift and told me what he paid for it. And I thought, man, third world country, how can that be?
Mm-hmm.
So I started doing the groundwork here. When I got back, I went to see a surgeon in North Carolina who quoted me $25,000. And I wouldn't have done it at $25,000, but at $5,000, I was willing to take the risk. And it was no risk. It was a fabulous experience. I would tell anybody if they have anything that is wrong with them that they would like to get addressed, if they feel they can't afford it here in this country, to please look into places like Mexico, Costa Rica, or Colombia. The surgeons in the facilities are state of the art. It's just not regulation nation.
What did you get done? Just curious.
I had a facelift, and a neck lift.
Okay.
So that was it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That explains that. Now, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but like I can absolutely understand doing something like that as you age to cope with the effects of aging. But there are actually people younger than me who are in pursuit of this type of, I'm going to say, appearance-based determinism, that they can only be as successful as they are attractive. I'm talking people who are younger than me who are trying to get surgeries to change their appearance and stuff. What do you think about that in today's society? Is that kind of an indication of where people are at in this modern age? Like, what does it mean to you as someone who's older and more experienced?
I think maintenance is important, but maintenance starts with good diet, good exercise. You can fight aging. You can fight aging by good skin care. There are things on the market today that are available that were not available on the market when I was your age. If I was 31 years old, like you are, and a woman or a man, doesn't matter. Men should be paying attention to their appearance as well. I would take the time to learn about skincare procedure, things that are available today that combat aging. Diet, exercise, skincare, and if you needed, if there was something that bothered you, whether it be your nose, your eyes, my neck really bothered me, which is why I went for the facelift.
Yeah.
I mean, I really didn't like looking at my neck. It looks 50 now.
Yeah, try not to cover up your mic, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah,
No, I'm sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, but I looked in the mirror and I didn't like what I was just, it bothered me.
Yeah.
It bothered me, and I knew that I could do something about it. But I didn't want to do it at 25,000. But at 5,000, I was really willing to take the risk. I did take a girlfriend with me to Costa Rica.
Mm-hmm.
I thought my daughter would object. I thought my girlfriends would object. Third world country. Oh my God, what's going to happen? Is she going to come back without her organs?
Oh my God.
It wasn't any of that. It was a very professional, well done experience. I would go back there in a heartbeat if I had a reason to. I had a reason to. I really think people need to know that. I'll tell you what else you can get done in Costa Rica. If you have a problem with your teeth,
Lobotomy.
well, you
No,
can probably do that
I'm just
too.
kidding. I'm kidding.
No, I would say, but if a lot of I met people down there that were there, men that were there because they needed all new teeth.
Yeah.
And it's the dental is so much less money.
Yeah.
It's worth the experience. It's worth a trip. It truly is. So if there's something that really bothers you, get it fixed. Find it, and if you can't afford to get it fixed here, then go to Costa Rica to get it fixed, or go to Mexico or go to Colombia to get it fixed. But watch out for those hookers down there in Colombia. Okay, because there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched the show The Narcos or?
I've not.
Yeah, the Adult Friend Finder, the Medellin women are all over that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, for your professional success and corporate synergy, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're watching the Productivity Zone. Be right back. And we are back. We are with Joyce talking about the subject of sex after 60. So, Joyce, we got to talk about the kids these days. They're speaking a completely different language. We've got Gen Z. They've got a very pessimistic view on dating and relationships between men and women in general. They speak in completely different language. They have their own terms for everything, and they speak in neologisms and portmanteau. Have you ever heard that word before?
No.
Portmanteau is when you take two words and combine it together.
Okay.
Neologism is a new word entirely. So the creation of a new word. So it's kind of a new speak. It's impossible to understand unless you were steeped in that subject. So we're going to go through a glossary of terms. I'm going to tell you a word, and I want you to try to imagine what the meaning of the word is. And I'll tell you.
Okay.
And, if you think of anything, it's like, that reminds me of my past, my experience, my upbringing. tell us those stories because we want to hear the stories that you have to give. But other than that, try to guess what this means. Even if you have to go way out there to guess and you're totally wrong, just try to guess. Okay.
On game.
All right, let's do this. Number 1, mogging, or to mog, verb, mogging.
Banging.
Banging?
Having sex.
That's a good guess. I like that guess. So mogging is to dominate or outshine somebody else, usually in physical attractiveness, making them look inferior by comparison. Derived from the acronym AMOG, alpha male of the group.
Okay. Mogging.
Have you ever witnessed a brutal mogging before?
No.
No. Never? Really? Okay. All right.
What would you consider a brutal mogging?
A brutal mogging is like, for instance, say you go to a bar and you see a girl that you like and you go up and talk to her and you're hitting it off, but then a guy who's like a foot taller than you comes over and talks to her, who's like jacked, and then she instantly like just no longer speaks to you.
Yes. So, yes, 100%. I have experienced that, except that we weren't calling it mogging back in those days. Okay. Yeah, that happens. That's when the appearance, that body language, the way that you look, the way that you carry yourself, the confidence, it all comes into play. So mogging, body language, same thing. Okay.
Fair enough. All right. Mewing. What is mewing?
Whispering in somebody's ear.
Mewing. Okay. So mewing is a technique where you press the tongue on the roof of the mouth, often while breathing through the nose, to supposedly improve jawline definition and facial structure over time.
Yeah. That one's way out there for me. Okay.
Yeah.
Mewing. I don't know that it works.
Really?
Yeah. But you put the tongue on the top of the mouth to improve the jawline.
I've been mewing this whole interview, Joyce. Are
you serious?
I've been mewing the entire time.
You've been putting your tongue on the top of your mouth?
Absolutely.
It's improving your jawline?
Yes.
Well, you can get that done with a plastic surgeon if you really want to get it done. And don't mew. Okay. No, never heard of it. I don't know that it works. I think it's BS. I'm calling BS on that one. Okay. Go ahead.
I think it works, personally. All right, this one's very important. This one is almost central to the entire.
I'm going to try the mewing. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see if it works for you. Looks maxing.
Looks maxing would be looking your best, dressing for success. That would be different for everybody depending on, the level of natural beauty you have versus you have to dress up because you're lacking in the natural beauty. Would that be right? Looks
very sharp.
Okay.
Very sharp, Joyce. So looks maxing is the practice of maximizing one's appearance and physical attractiveness through grooming, skincare, diet, exercise, fashion, or more extreme methods such as surgery.
Like a facelift.
Like a facelift at age 22. Now, you already kind of spoke to your experience.
Nobody has a facelift at 22.
I mean, people are getting surgery. Like younger people are getting surgery and stuff.
Now that I find to be very crazy.
Yes.
And because when youth is the gift that old people can't get back. Mm-hmm. So nobody realizes how beautiful you really are when you're young. So it's called natural beauty. And I'm a big fan of natural beauty. I just say, I don't have any makeup on.
Mm.
None.
Wow.
A little bit of lipstick.
Okay.
I don't even have cream on my face tonight.
Mm. Yeah.
So natural beauty, all that, a lot of old people, women, mm-hmm. not men, pile a whole bunch of crap on their face.
Yeah.
It's very unattractive.
Mm-hmm.
I find it unattractive in young people too. Take advantage of what you naturally have.
Yeah. Now, do you think like, do you believe that we're kind of a decaying society? Do you believe at all that we've gone downhill as a society?
100%.
You do? You do think that?
100%.
I mean, you're probably not as concerned because, I mean, although you
Because I'll
are,
be dead.
you'll be dead.
That's right.
You'll be gone. I mean, so a lot of this stuff isn't as big as a concern for you, as far as the fate of whatever, current
No,
situation
you're right.
we're in.
I frequently have that conversation with friends. That won't matter to us because we'll be dead. Yeah, I feel like young people today, it's got to be tough. It's got to be tough because there's so many things out there that confuse people. Confusing like men and women. Okay, men are supposed to be men and women are supposed to be women, but women became feminists and men became soy boys. And people put rings in their nose and they got all tattooed up and they go with the majority instead of the commons. Instead of being true to yourself. And it's tough. It's tough to be a standalone.
Yeah.
It's tough to be a standalone, but it's okay in the end. Being the standalone, you always survive with that. So that goes back to being true to yourself. Who are you? Who are you? This young people today, all the internet, all the social media, the texting, people don't even talk anymore, like have real conversations. They send these text messages back and forth, by the way, which can be easily misconstrued. If we have a conversation and you hear the tone of my voice, you hear what I'm saying, you might know that I'm joking with you or I'm not joking with you. We have a better understanding of what the conversation is. Text message doesn't cut it. So young people today, I'm glad I'm old. I'm glad I'm old.
Yeah.
I hate to be pushing that bus up the hill right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there was this experiment that is a famous animal experiment, but it's known for having its sociological implications. It's called the Mouse Utopia experiment. Have you ever heard of that?
No, tell me about it, please.
It was this guy, I believe his name is Calhoun, and he created a laboratory environment where he could bring all of these mice in. And what the experiment is trying to study is overpopulation, is what it's trying to study. So the population of mice reach up to a certain level, and then their habits, their practices, their sociological behavior decays. Where one of the aspects of it is that the males, they become very withdrawn and obsessed with grooming themselves. Have you ever heard of anything like that?
No.
Do you see any parallels between, society in seeing this mouse experiment and young people obsessing over plastic surgery, looks maxing, and all that?
Yes. Yes.
Becoming withdrawn from society.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, I think that all started with the Kardashians.
Really?
Yeah, I do. Where we became focused on. I don't know. I think the Kardashians were a turning point. From my viewpoint, my genre, beauty, sex, too much of everything, overindulgence, celebrity. Yeah, and the reality is that the people that are actually ever going to get there are like this big on the grand scheme of things. So I believe that we should all be our best selves. Okay. And our best selves doesn't mean that you go get tattooed up from head to toe. You don't put a bunch of nose rings or earrings or whatever you're sticking in your body. You eat a good diet. You exercise. We have to be our best selves. And then if we can improve on something, I mean, there are things that are very obvious. And I'm not talking about breasts. I think women should just embrace whatever breasts they have. Okay. But if you have something wrong with yourself that is like my neck, my neck, I got to the point where I didn't want to look at it. It looked so saggy. It bothered me that if you can get that fixed, you need to get it fixed. I don't think you should obsess about it.
Yeah. Did you see this picture of me as an old guy? Let me pull it up real quick.
I saw it.
Oh, you did see it?
Yeah, I did see it.
Okay.
You want with the gray hair? Okay. But you're really not an old guy because you could be fat. You could be 200 pounds. They didn't put 200 pounds on you. They just grade you up.
Do you think I need...
I think you should lose that mustache. Okay.
Lose the mustache?
Yeah,
no. That would be
that.
way too controversial.
Yeah, lose that mustache.
No.
Okay, it's way too gray.
We can't do that. We can't
and this is my natural color, by the way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, that's me simulated age 72 right there.
Really?
I mean, roughly, rough approximation.
Yeah, which is why I want to date 50-year-olds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Understandable. Totally understandable.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next term. Our next term is bone smashing. What is bone smashing?
Banging.
Banging? No, that's
sex.
That would be way too obvious, Joyce. No, that's not it. So bone smashing is an extreme and dangerous, medically discouraged look-smashing practice of hitting your face with objects to supposedly reshape bones and facial tissue for a more chiseled look.
That's just crazy.
That's just crazy.
You mean, are you actually saying people do that?
Yes, yes.
That is just, that sounds like something out of the Stephen King horror movie right there.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you will live to see man-made horrors beyond your comprehension, is what they say.
Well, listen, I just watched a movie with Demi Moore in it called Substance. I couldn't even believe it. And they gave her some kind of award over in Cannes. And which brings me to the point that I don't know how they're giving awards out on some of these movies because that movie just truly sucked. It was awful. Okay,
I don't watch anything.
Yeah, it was 100% awful.
2000.
But no, if there's something wrong, your natural beauty is your natural beauty. Not all of us look like Michelle Pfeiffer. Probably most of your audience don't even know who she is, but she was stunningly beautiful back in her day. We don't all look like that, but we can maximize the natural beauty that we have, and it's not by smashing your bones. That's just crazy.
I agree.
And if anybody said to me, "Oh, I'm going to go smash my face tonight," I would say, "Oh, see you like never."
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, Chad.
What?
What is Chad? Who is Chad?
Chad sounds like money to me.
Chad sounds like money?
Okay.
Chad's the guy who's got money?
Yeah. Chad. One of my sisters-in-law was married to a Chad. Okay.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. What is Chad?
Chad is the archetype of an extremely attractive, tall, masculine man who succeeds socially and romantically.
Where is he?
Where is he?
Yeah, is the one out there that's 72? Okay.
Yeah, probably
no, I'll take a 60-year-old.
I have a picture of him.
Yeah, Chad, huh? Oh, you're really Chad? Is that the right thing to say? Could I say that to somebody? Oh, you're Chad. Last week when I was down at the...
You're a Chad is probably what you should say. If you want to...
You're a Chad.
You're a Chad. Yeah,
you're a Chad. Okay, good.
I think that's what it should be.
I love knowing that.
Yeah.
I'm Pepper now, and I mean more. I'm with it.
Incel. What's an incel?
I know the answer to this one.
This is a popular one.
Yeah, I know the answer to this one, but I've had 2 glasses of wine, so you're gonna have to help me. I know what this is. What is an incel?
I'm gonna give you a hint. It's one of these portmanteaus where it's like 2 words like, married together. Incel. So sound it out. Incel. Incel.
Incel. Incel.
Have you read 1984, by the way? I know that's a very popular, very
Yes,
famous
I
book.
have.
They kind of describe this perfectly in that book where, like, for instance, they have insoc. It just means, like, you don't know when you read the whole book.
Incel is when you're on the internet.
Basically.
When you're
Yes.
okay, incel. Okay.
Incel. Short for involuntarily celibate man who is incapable of getting a girlfriend or finding a partner.
Incel. Okay. And why do you think they're incapable? Because why are they incapable?
Well, it depends who you would ask. Maybe it's that they haven't, become confident. They haven't put in the effort. They haven't built those social skills. Or
You mean like before when I got on the cruise?
right, like you.
I
when you
was
got
an
on the cruise.
incel.
I mean,
I
maybe.
was now I'm
I'm
not a cell at all.
I don't think you would ever. I don't think you'd ever.
Oh no, I'm out of the cell bit. Okay, but when I got on the cruise, I was an incel.
Yeah.
I was done. I have friends that are incels.
Oh
Okay,
my God.
they're married and they're still incel.
Oh my God, that's awful.
I mean, I have a couple married friends that are very cell.
Oh,
okay?
that's too bad.
But I have some that are incel. Okay, so when I got on the cruise, I was an incel. I thought I was done.
Yeah.
I'm very content in my existence. I'm very content. But I like experiences. Okay. And sex is a pretty good experience. That organic, it's an experience. Like the world cruise was an experience. Like being right here tonight is an experience. So you can sit around your whole life and play video games or watch Netflix until the cows come home. But experiences are what makes the heart count.
Mm.
So, I was an incel. Now I'm an out of cell, but I know incels. I know them. Okay, next question.
Next question. All right, femcel.
Sounds like a lesbian.
A lesbian?
Yes.
Okay, so a femcel would be an involuntarily celibate female. So that's just a female incel.
Oh, so we have incels are men and femcels are female.
Correct.
So I was a femcel.
You were a femcel. That's right.
But I could be an incel too.
Okay.
I have male characteristics. Okay.
A gigachad. What is a gigachad?
Somebody that cannot stay off the internet.
Someone that cannot stay off the internet? No, it's rather an exaggerated god tier version of a Chad who is perfectly looks optimized.
Repeat.
So it's like a Chad. Do you remember that one?
Oh yeah, Chad's the hot guy.
The hot guy.
Right.
So a Giga Chad would be the perfect hot guy.
The hot guy on steroids.
Hot guy on steroids, literally, and
Giga Chad.
Yes.
I love that. Because when I go to the gym the next time, and I see that guy that's over there with the tattoos on his arms. Not that I'm crazy about tattoos, but he looks good in them. I can walk up to him and say, "You know what? You're a Giga Chad." Do you think he'll know what I'm talking about?
I think you will. Maybe.
I can't wait to spring it on him. Because I'll get away with it. I can pull it off.
Yeah,
They'll either look at me like she's crazy or I want to talk to her.
Yeah.
It's one or the other.
Yeah. So do you like?
That goes back to the behavior analysis. I can pull that off.
So you can get away with certain
I
things.
can
when you're
get
at
away 100%.
72, having sex after 60, you can pull it off.
I can pull it off because if it's all in the approach. So either people are gonna take it and run with it, or they're gonna go, ooh, you know. So, but if I walked up to somebody at the gym, and I play this thing at the gym, it's called the Hot Guy Contest.
Okay.
So when I walk into my gym, I look around and I pick out the hottest guy in the gym. And then if I have the opportunity that I can approach, I can say, oh, you won the Hot Guy at the Gym Today award. Now, they're going to be flattered. No matter what, they're going to be flattered. Whether or not they look at me and go, oh, well, she's pretty hot, or let me talk more, or thank you very much. I don't know what the reaction is going to be, but I know I can pull that off. I know I can do it. I've done it dozens of times.
Dozens of times?
Dozens of times, yes.
Okay,
and I make friends like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good way to make friends. I mean, you're very approachable, and you're definitely not bashful. You're definitely...
and they don't know if I'm serious. You know, they don't know how to take it. They don't know how to take it because I'm not 200 pounds. I don't look. I'm still attractive.
Okay, you're not
Hunfield
or anyway. You're not walking around with a walker.
They can either be flattered or ha, or wow, thank you very much. Let me teach you how to use this piece of equipment. You know, and it goes back to the behavior analysis. So I say something, it evokes a reaction. I then react based on the reaction. So it's just, and I'm amazed at how many of these young guys respond to me. I find it really, because I'm gentle too. I'm not feminist.
Do you know
I'm
something?
Feminine.
Not feminist, you're feminine.
Feminine.
So do you know it's something like 50% of young guys have not actually walked up and approached a woman in person?
That's really shameful.
I know.
It really is shameful.
It really is.
You should be able to walk up to anybody.
Well, how do you do it? How do you do it, Joyce? If you were a 22-year-old guy listening to this right now, and you go to the gym but you don't walk up to and approach any women or something like that, how do you break that barrier? If you were 22 and you were a woman, how would you want to be approached?
You have to have confidence. You really have to have confidence. You can't be scared of. You can't be scared of the approach, and you can't be scared of the reaction to the approach, because not everybody's going to be nice. But you'd be surprised how many people are actually nice. And you have to be soft too. You can't be ugly. Don't ever say something stupid like, let me think what would be stupid. I like your leotard. I don't even know if leotard is the word that they use these days. It can't be stupid. I would say it's sincere. Like, so when I have the Hot Guy Award, I'm really serious about it. I look around the whole gym and I see who's the hottest guy in the gym. And they're working out, they're out there working out. And why are they working out? Because they want to look good. So I'm giving a sincere compliment, and I am sincere about it. You got the Hot Guy Award today. Oh, thank you very much. Somebody might, thank you very much and just move on. Or somebody might say, hey, thank you very much. My name's Ian. What's your name? I met Willie. He's a 60-year-old. Mm-hmm. He is one of the hottest guys in the gym too, by the way. 60.
We have a comment from Shroggy. I wish I was the hottest guy in the gym. Yeah, usually I call them gym bunnies. That's what I call them. These are the girls at the gym who they present themselves in a certain way. You know what I mean? They got the shorts that are short, they're tight, They got makeup on at the gym. You know, they want you to come up and talk to them. They're just little bunnies hopping around in the gym. So that's what I call them, gym bunnies. And I usually just walk up and say, "Oh, can I say hi? Can I say hello? How are you?" And they take their little earbuds out, and they never call me, but you know, that's how that usually goes.
Well, I would tell you this. See, and this is something that breaks down a little bit different. I'm 72,
Yeah.
so I'm not in the gym bunny category.
Yeah.
I'm out of that category.
Oh, you're a gym bunny in my book. Joyce.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
I'm really going to take that as quite a nice compliment. I see these young women in the gym in these scandalous shorts.
Yes.
Okay, and look, if I could pull it off, I would. I'm just going to be honest. If I could pull it off, I would. I can't. But they're so attractive that I would not waste my time there if I was you. I can go up to a young guy that's so attractive and say something, and he's okay with it because I'm not in his genre.
Yeah.
I'm out of his league. I really am. Now maybe he wants to have sex with an older woman. I don't know over at this end, but he's not threatened by me. Younger people, you're all the same. I would avoid the gym buddy, and I would find the girl that was kind of average.
Okay.
That's who I would look for. If you want to meet somebody, don't go looking for the one that's out of your league.
Fair enough.
If you want to meet somebody,
Yeah.
okay. I would steer clear of those people.
Understandable. I mean,
give me the next word.
All right, let's do
I'm going to say banging.
All
okay.
Right. Sigma.
Banging.
Sigma.
Do you even know what banging is?
Of course I do.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Of course I do. Shagging. Banging.
Shagging, banging. Okay. What's the word?
Sigma. Noun, a sigma.
I don't even want to tell you what I think that is. Okay.
Tell me.
It sounds like seminal fluid. Okay. I mean, I'm just telling you. It's just awful. It's a terrible word. What does it mean?
A lone wolf alpha who doesn't follow the crowd but is still dominant and self-reliant. This would be considered adopting the Sigma male grind set. So this means that you're a Chad, basically, but you don't go into the typical mentality. Instead of that mindset, you adopt the Sigma male grind set. You're a loner, but you still are at the top.
Oh, listen. I know somebody who's just like that.
Yeah.
He's 7. He's my age.
Yeah.
He looks like a Adonis.
Oh,
his whole life.
Yeah.
He is that person right there. A Sigma. He is. And the next time I see him, I'm going to tell him he's a Sigma. He won't know what that is because he's 72 like me.
Yeah.
But he is. He is stunningly beautiful, physically fit. At 72, he's like I've likened him to a Greek god my whole life. I've known him for like 40 years. Yeah. And he's always looked the same, except he has aged. Mm-hmm. When he was 30, he was stunningly beautiful. Mm-hmm. At 72, he is still stunningly beautiful at 72, but he's 72. Mm. So he is that. And he is a horse of a different color. That's what I would call that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Doesn't need a feminist, doesn't he's totally content. He's totally content in his alpha male world.
Perfect. Okay. All right, let's go on a rapid fire through these because I don't want to keep you too late. And then I have one last question for you. Foid. What is a foid, Joyce?
Sounds like a spoiler.
A spoiler? It's short for femoid, which is a derogatory term for women, implying that all women act predictably in a pattern, lacking independent thought and acting in accordance with group psychology.
Avoid.
Avoid.
Avoid being a foid.
Yes, yes.
Avoid being a foid.
Beta. What is a beta?
I would say an alpha. A beta is the opposite of an alpha.
Perfect. It's a weak, submissive, or low status in the social romantic hierarchy, and it's the opposite of an alpha/sigma.
Avoid being a beta.
Yes, good advice. Now I know you know this one. Soy.
Soy boys. Oh, yeah. Soy is politically correct stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Avoid soy. Okay.
So that term stems from the idea of consuming soy products like soy milk that increases estrogen, supposedly, and feminizes men, lowering testosterone.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you something. We can't trust science either. So we don't know. You know, if you want to drink milk, drink milk. Okay. But soy boy has a very negative connotation. Okay.
It certainly does. This one's important here. Red pilled. What is red pilled?
That means you don't want to be, it's a bad thing. Red pill is a bad thing. Red pilled. Okay. Blue pill, red pill, red pill. You tell me.
Okay, so it says here, red pilled means you're awakened to the supposed or harsh, hidden truth about society, dating, gender to gender dynamics of the world, rejecting what is seen as mainstream delusion or propaganda. Now, I think that what you said about whether it's good or bad, I think a lot of people would agree or disagree whether or not red pilled would be a good thing or not. You know, some people, there's variants of that. Like you could be white pilled or black pilled. Black pilled would be you're so down on the idea that your looks or that the world is deterministic and that you can't escape it in any way. White pilled would be you're optimistic. You're optimistic about the future, that you can determine your own life, that your attitude actually would affect your outcome in life, and that you can change your outcome in life.
Well, I like white pill.
Me too.
Okay, I like white pill. And in the Matrix, they had the red pill
Exactly.
and they had the blue pill. But I'm telling you, all this pill stuff is just a bunch of bullshit anyway. Yeah, you just, that is what has happened in the culture. Actually, I find this language to be quite stunning.
I know
I find it to be I find it to be kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Red pill. Are you telling me people actually believe they? Do you know about this stuff?
Yeah, I know all about this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It's just not normal.
Mm,
It's kind of created.
Yeah, I think that people need to find their own solutions. Like we need to establish a new culture so that we can kind of go outside of this kind
How
of
about
thing.
common sense culture?
That's perfect too.
Yeah. All this pill business doesn't work. Red pill, black pill, white pill. Be optimistic. Don't be a grumpy. Okay. Optimism is a very good thing. All this other stuff is just, it's just really a waste of time, isn't it? I mean, black pill, green pill, blue pill. How about common sense, optimism, confidence, be your best self?
Works for me.
Yeah. I feel bad for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot.
You have to navigate this kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's a lot to deal with, but
It truly is a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
I have an 11-year-old granddaughter. I mean, I don't worry about the future for me because I'm going to be dead.
Yeah.
But what about her?
Mm-hmm.
How crazy is this going to get?
It's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
I think, you know, I think we've already kind of hit the low.
God, I
And
hope so.
people will kind of build back and imagine a new culture that we can really represent a more positive vision of the future. I think that is kind of inevitable. But that's yet to be determined. We will figure that out as soon as we can. So ascension. What is ascension?
When you rise above.
It's true. That's essentially it. It's actually it pertains to looks maxing. It's once you've successfully looks maxed, you have escaped the incel status through looks maxing or other changes to become romantically sexually active. That's kind of your story. I feel like you kind of ascended. You ascended from that. You thought you were retired, professionally and sexually, and then you came back. You ascended.
You're right. I think that's appropriate. I think that's a very good term. I have ascended. I'm in ascension right now.
It's beautiful.
I want to ascend until I can't ascend anymore. And as a matter of fact, I said to one of my girlfriends very recently, I have a window of opportunity. I intend to maximize that window of opportunity because I want experiences.
Yeah.
And they don't have to be, they're not grounded in anything except safety and experiences. And they have to be pleasant. They can't be unpleasant experiences. They have to be pleasant.
Yeah.
So, so I would say ascension.
Beautiful.
I'm like the Holy Mother up there.
Skibbity Riz. What is Skibbity Riz?
Skibbity Riz sounds like Skibbity Jizz. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be so guttural, but I can be because I'm 72. I can do anything I want. Okay. I own my own home. I don't have any debt, and I feel good about myself. But that terminology right there, say it again.
Skibbity Riz.
You have to tell. Skibbity Riz.
So
fast and quick. Fast and quick is what I think of.
Yeah. So the Riz is the charisma. Charisma.
Okay.
Riz is short for charisma or skill at flirting and romancing somebody. And the skibbity would just be to the more extreme, the chaotic Riz.
Skibbity Riz.
The crazy charisma.
I love that. Skibbity Riz. I'm trying to date somebody I might have to pull that Skibbity Riz on him. He's very intelligent. 65.
I got
Okay, Skibbity Riz.
We have just a couple more here, Joyce. Thank you for tolerating this. Chugi. What is Chugi?
Sounds like that Chewbacca character that was in Star Wars. Okay.
I like that. That's a good association, good free association there. Yeah.
Somebody from outer space?
Not quite. It is an outdated, trying too hard, or cringy being causing you to cringe, often aimed at millennial trends. It's like cheesy. It's like cheesy.
These poor millennials.
Yeah, I know.
I feel bad for them. I really do.
Been
I really do. It was so much easier back in my time.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Listen. Whatever that Chewbacca term was, millennials, just go for it. Confidence, humor. Forget all this language. Okay. It's too much.
It's too much.
It's too much.
It's too much, yeah.
Who's making this stuff up?
That's a good question.
Who's making it up?
It's the kids
all these
these days, Joyce.
LGBTQ, hims, hers, we, them. I mean, it's just too much.
It's way too much. All right, last one for you. Brain rot.
Brain rot is what you get when you watch too much CNN. Okay.
That's so true. You're perfect.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry.
Or I couldn't describe it better. Yeah, that's it.
Okay,
That's pretty much it.
Okay, that's what you get.
It says it's the overconsumption of low quality internet content and videos.
Yeah, 100%.
You nailed it.
100%.
No, that's it. That's pretty much it right there. Okay, Joyce. It's been awesome talking to you. I have one last question for you, and it's about, all your experiences. You lived through these experiences, living in the now. What are your aspirations to capture these experiences and encapsulate them in something that other people can obtain? Do you have aspirations as a writer? Do you want to, obviously you were motivated enough to come speak to me today. What do you want to do to encapsulate all these experiences for others to learn from?
I want to be an old lady influencer. Not that I perceive myself as an old lady, because I already told you, my body might be old, but my mind is very young. I think there's a lot of women out there that really want to have sex with a man again, okay, that could benefit from my experiences. That it's not over just because you think it's over, that it might just be beginning. So if I could do anything, I could share my wisdom with others, even younger people like yourself. You can walk away with whatever you want to walk away with. But I think there are women out there like me that aren't done, or men that that there could be something else. There could be something else, an experience, because I really believe that experiences are what matters in life. Not things you collect, not social followers on the internet, not a bank account, interactions with people, world cruises, birthdays with your granddaughter, experiences, sex with a younger man, an older man, sex with a woman, just experiences. And that's what I would like to impart on others, is that you can go out there and live in the moment. You don't have to be ball and chained by social norms, that you can just go out and be you and have fun and make friends and have an experience. Like, I've never been in a podcast studio in my life. This is pretty exciting stuff. Now I know what it is. It's an experience.
Absolutely.
Okay. So live. That's what I'd like to share with others. Is that the right answer?
That's a great answer.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a good note to end on right here. So thank you for joining us. This is the Productivity Zone. You're watching Ian.tv. That's about all. Peace out.
Peace out.